In 1948 and 1961, the Criminal Code stated that gay men were dangerous sexual offenders and criminal sexual psychopaths. A homosexuality test, known as a fruit test, was used in Canada in the 50s and 60s to rid the military, RCMP, and other civil services of homosexuals. LGBT activity was illegal in Canada until 1969, when Bill C-150 was passed into law. The first Canadian Gay Rights March took place in Ottawa in 1971. Pride Week 1973 was held in August 73 and was a nationwide LGBT rights event. In 1981, 4 gay bathhouses were raided by Toronto police. This event, called Operation Soap, led to protesting police conduct. These protests are considered the Canadian equivalent to the Stonewall riots, and one of the Toronto protests is recognized as the first Toronto Pride. In 1986, sexual orientation is added to Ontario's Human Rights Code. In 1987, it is added to the Yukons and Manitobas. In 1991, it is added to Nova Scotia's Human Rights Act. In 1992, it was added to New Brunswick and British Columbia's. 1993, Saskatchewan, and in 1996, sexual orientation was added to the Canadian Human Rights Act, protecting homosexuals from discrimination throughout Canada, in employment, housing, services, and other public activities. In 1992, homosexuals are allowed to serve in the military. In 1995, Ontario became the first province to allow same-sex couples to adopt. In 1996, the Green Party endorsed the legalization of same-sex marriage and was the first party to do so. In 1999, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled that homosexual couples should have the same rights as heterosexual couples. In May 2004, the House of Commons and the Senate passed Bill C-250, which made hate propaganda directed towards sexual orientation illegal. By 2009, all provinces and territories included sexual orientation in their human rights laws. In 2012, the House of Commons passed Bill C-382, which added anti-discrimination laws regarding gender identity and expression to the Canadian Human Rights Act. In November 2017, Trudeau apologized to the LGBT community for systematic oppression, in which he also acknowledged the suppression of Two-Spirit Indigenous peoples. The Stonewall riots in New York led to the creation of the Gay Liberation Front. Canada is listed as one of the most queer-friendly countries in the world. Trans people and cross-dressers have been around in Canada for hundreds of years in Indigenous groups. There were often biological women who would hunt and go to war, and men who would stay home and gather plants and things. Now these people are referred to as Two-Spirit. Records show that there was homosexuality in most tribes. Homosexuality between consenting adults was criminalized in 1969 after the Stonewall riot that occurred in New York. The RCMP kept tabs on homosexuals throughout the late 50s and all of the 60s.